Alright, let's go ahead and make sure you have this practicing substitution sheet out in front of you. Also, please make sure you have your break-even problem out in front of you. The break-even solutions for small businesses. So if you are looking at the break-even problem on the skateboard side, you should have gotten the revenue rule. R of X is 75X, and the C of X is 25X plus 500. If you don't have those sheets out in front of you, please pause it right here and make sure they're out in front of you. Okay, and then if you look at those sheets, you can see the solution on the sheet where it crosses, where they have the same values on the table. Right, and it should have been at 10 here. They had the same values on the table, and you can also see it on the graph where they cross. All right, but I also wanted to show you how you can find this using substitution. Sometimes it's necessary to use substitution, and we want to start with a pretty easy basic way. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this problem right here and this problem right here, and since we want them to equal each other, we want the revenue to equal the cost. All right, we're going to set them equal to each other. So we're going to take the 75X and we're going to take the 25X plus 500, and we're going to set them equal to each other. 75X equals 25X plus 500. Okay, so now we've got them equal to each other, and now we can just solve it for X. We solve this for X. We're going to subtract 25X on this side because we have an X on both sides. We want to get rid of the lowest one. Cross that one out. Whatever we do on one side, we do on the other. 75 minus 25 is 50. X equals, bring down the 500. Now we just divide by 50 on both sides, and that's how we get X equals 10. Just like we talked about a second ago on the table, they had the same values at 10. They also had the same values at 10 on the graph. Now all we've got to do is we've got to take this 10 where X equals 10, and we've got to plug it into one of these two for the X value to see what the R of X or C of X would be. You should get the same value if you plugged it into either one. Let's plug it into the easier one, the 75X. So I'm going to say R of 10, right, the revenue when we sell 10 equals 75 times 10. And 75 times 10 is 750. Right, so these two are going to cross at 10, 750. This is the solution to the system of equations. All right, let's try this for the hot dog one real quick. Okay, the hot dog one, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take this right here, and we're going to take this right here. And since we want them to be equal to each other, we want the revenue to equal the cost for them to break even, we are going to set them equal to each other. 1.75x equals 125 plus 0.45x. Right? And then we are going to go ahead and subtract the 0.45x from both sides because it is the lower of the two. And we'll end up with 1.3x equals 125. And then all we have to do now is divide both sides by 1.3. And let me grab my calculator real quick. It's going to be about X is going to equal about 96.1538. Now, this number doesn't work out real well for hot dogs, right? You can't sell 96.1538 hot dogs, but we are going to use this number to figure out what our revenue and cost would be. So I'm going to take, again, the revenue because it's an easier one. So I'm going to take R of 96.1538, and that's going to equal 1.75 times that 96.1538. Sorry about the room here. And then we'll multiply those out. 1.75 times 96.1538. And that gives us the R of 96.1538 equals 168.269. So our solution here is 96.1538, comma, 168.269. So that is our solution to this system. So as you can see, it doesn't really work out great for for this situation with the hot dogs in the stand as far as breaking even. You'll never break even. You'll be really close at 96 hot dogs, but you'll never exactly break even. So what we want you to do right now is we want you to try some of these on your own, where you set them equal to each other, solve for x by solving the equation, and then take your x value and plug it in to one of these two up here. Pick the easier one and figure out what your y would be, and then put your answer right here and circle it. All right. If you get a chance, I would not go on to the back. Yeah. I hope you have a good day.